Hi, good morning and good to see everyone. So I know the topic is transforming India into a global manufacturing hub, but I think it's pretty much known that in the last 4 or 5 years, India is moving more and more into manufacturing, and the focus is there. Whether you look at steel, cement, defense, and chemicals. So I think I'd like to focus more on where the opportunities for the chemical industry as India transforms into a manufacturing hub. Can the chemical industry take a bigger share of the manufacturing pie in India? I think means I've not been in the industry that long, I would say about 10 to 12 years. But as I look at the industry, I see a lot of, very large companies over the years, petrochemical companies that have become both government owned and privately owned. And I see a lot of mid-sized companies and I see smaller companies. I think the opportunity in India lies that if you look at other segments, and we go back to India as a manufacturing hub, you have steel, cement, and other metals as well that have consolidated over the years, right? So you have now in every space maybe only 4 or 5 players that are really, you can say 80–90% of the capacity in India. It's a challenge for a new player to come in and really become big in the next decade or so. Again, metals and cement as well, and power maybe. But when you look at chemicals, there's a lot of headroom, right? And there you have small chemical companies that can become medium sized, you have medium that can become large, and I think there's an opportunity for large to become very large as well. And I think that's where the opportunity lies for India to become a global manufacturing hub. Also, the point is, how do you go up the ladder, right? Ladder in size, ladder in innovation, ladder in capability. And I'd like to focus, maybe just share what we have done as a company. So when we started off, we were a coal tar distillation company, about 150,000 tons a year, very domestic focused, catering to aluminum smelters and other carbon black manufacturers in India. We took the opportunity in 2019 to forward integrate into carbon black, so we moved ahead into that space. Today we are 115,000 tons, and by October this year, hopefully we should be 215,000 tons, making us the third biggest in India. So in a small span of 5 years, we've gone from not being in this industry to being the third biggest in India, but in a space that only has 6 or 7 players. So there's a lot of headroom for a company like us, and there's a lot of headroom for other players also in this industry to get bigger and bigger as India becomes this manufacturing hub. And the way, at least I can tell you, in carbon black, we and others have grown is focusing more on the export market. We are fortunate that India has inherited growth, so we continue to grow even if not much happens around us. But the opportunity of India becoming an export hub as well is, I think, very, very important when we try to see how to grow. At the same time, we have been focused on battery materials, like Praveen was saying. So back in 2019, we took a bet that we think this is going to be an interesting space. You need scale, you need access to technology. In the last 5 years, we've invested a lot of money in our synthetic graphite business. So we have forward integrated our business, and I would say today we're one of the only companies in India that makes battery materials. We make the anode today, the graphite anode, and we have done an acquisition earlier this year to get into cathode manufacturing as well. So we are in this midstream processing industry, which is a pure play chemical industry. A lot of times when you look at EVs and the focus goes towards auto or towards cell making, I think it's not recognized that the processing industry, which is a huge opportunity, is actually a chemical industry. So I always encourage, chemical companies, at least in India, to look at this space because we are innovating a lot. We do invest a lot in R&D. We have really good universities and institutes that can support us in innovation. But that kind of focus has not come, and it's mainly also got to do with lack of awareness. It's not that people don't want to enter this space, but it takes time. And I think that's an opportunity we should recognize as a country. I think this is maybe the next $20 to $30 billion opportunity for investment in the next 10 years just into the processing industry. And this processing industry is what will fuel potentially the mining industry above it. Right? Today, if we are a cathode manufacturer, we would, at a certain scale, want to invest into a lithium mine or produce lithium carbonate in India because it would make sense for us and we would want to backward integrate. It's similar to how all the metal companies have backward integrated into bauxite or iron ore or coal mining over the last couple of decades. So I think the space of battery material processing is very, very interesting. And not everything is big capex, not everything is a big investment. You have amazing companies today in Japan and Korea that are doing very small additives, very high value. And I think this is a space where the small companies, medium companies in India can focus, and then the larger companies can focus on maybe the larger capex and making more of the high value, large scale investments in these products. We as a company have also seen that there's an opportunity to replace imports into India, while there's a China plus one opportunity to export, and we've seen that play out in the last 3 or 4 years. I think still a lot of chemicals get imported into India, and that know-how and technology sits in either Europe or US or Japan. And can we innovate? Can we manufacture this in India? Can we supply downstream customers in India and eventually become an export hub for these chemicals as well, right? And what we have seen is that you need to be at a certain tipping scale. You cannot do certain downstream or specialty chemicals unless you are at a certain scale. And that is how we have kind of built our roadmap, that we need to get to a certain capacity and that will help us go downstream. And we have, in the next 5 years, hopefully this should play out as we have developed a roadmap to do that. I'd like to conclude just by, when 13 years ago, when I started to set up my first plant in India, in Maharashtra, I remember filling out the application and they said, what will be the fuel that will be consumed in the plant? And I said, obviously, it will be coal. We'll have coal-fired boilers. Today, we are setting up a new plant in Orissa, and when we fill out the application, we don't even write coal in our application that we will use coal in our boilers. We have availability of natural gas, thanks to GAIL near us. We look at biogas, we look at other substitutes of fuel. So one is our thought process as an industry has evolved, but more than that, the opportunity of alternate fuels is available, whether it can be synergy with another manufacturing unit next to you, or it's the infrastructure the government is building. And I've seen that, at least in China, that the availability of cheap fuel everywhere has helped make their manufacturing industry really large and really competitive globally. So we start seeing that around India, that when you start looking for locations to build plants, you have actually availability of a lot of the building blocks, thanks to the spend by the government and the infrastructure being developed, whether ports or, like I said, natural gas. So I think these are at least the initial things that I start seeing, that, look, India is moving and there are opportunities for chemical companies and the sector to make India a global manufacturing hub. Thank you.